Hey everybody, it's Silverback here again with another gameplay and a few more thoughts on day 2 of the M21 standard on Magic Arena. Um, Going over the deck I'm playing in this video real quick, we got Spectral Sailor, Thieves Guild Enforcer, Omen of the Sea, Threnody Singer, Cunning Night Bonder, Drown in the Lock, Brazen Bower, Slitherwisp, um, also, Fairy Vandal and Mystic Subdual and Lockmere Serpent all was flashed on the screen. If you're interested in any cards or want to know more, just pause at where I highlight them and take a look-see. Rare game where we go first. I don't get that luxury very often, so it's always a pleasure to get the opportunity to go first and get under some of these faster decks. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying M21. I hope you got the wild cards to get the cards you want and build the deck that you want, and you're enjoying your best of one or best of three standard. Um, if you watched the video I put out yesterday, you'll know that I made a few comments about the ramp decks running wild, and I still encountered them today, and they still seem to have the same game plan: ramp out Nissa, ramp out Ugin, ramp out Uro, get down massive threats and try to win the game early. But there was definitely a lot more variety. Played some people trying to make the Shrines deck work. Played some people who are obviously trying some of the existing strategies and putting some new cards in them. Mono red I played a few times. I played in this video I played a deck that we're all familiar with, and I think you'll realize what I'm playing against here shortly. But um, today was a lot more fun, I think. Obviously, we're kind of at that first period exploratory. The paper set still hasn't come out yet. Or actually, pre-release was tonight. My LGS didn't have pre-release. You could still get the kits, which is always nice, and bring them home, but they didn't have the normal midnight release or the games, which is a bummer. I look forward to that each year, but what can you do? So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying the M21 standard. I feel a little bit better after today, but it's going to take a while to see where it settles at. If it is going to be a format where we race to Ugin, there it is. Now I'm sure we all know what I'm playing against here. It's our old friend Garuda. Garuda? It shows Gigan, the Godzilla card on the screen, but there you go. There's what the actual card looks like, even though it's a double version of it, but you get the drift. So yeah, I feel a little bit better today, but I still think that we're gonna end up in a format where it's just a race to slam a few certain cards, and the player to do that will win. But I did test out some brews of my own, some things I'm gonna feature on the channel eventually. Mystic Subdual still does work. I mean, doing that to his Thassa, it's major blow to them. I just don't know why people don't respect the card or play it more. I mean, yeah, hard removal, I guess, is good, but, with ways to get things out of graveyards, I almost feel like Mystic Subdual is preferable in some cases. You make it pretty much a worthless creature in some cases. Instead of sending, say, a Priest of the Forgotten Gods to the graveyard to get brought back, potentially. You leave it on their board as a nothing, and sure, they could sack it in that deck, but there's other scenarios. Uro, they get that down, they plan on gaining life and ramping every turn after they escape it, and instead it's a 4-6 that, in some cases can easily be blocked with a Spectral Sailor for a couple turns until you can edge in the victory. So, I one thing I hope this channel accomplishes, I hope that it gets across the point that Mystic Subdual is a card that deserves some respect. I that's I guess that's a goal. And now the channel has a purpose, so stay tuned to that. No, but the I guess another thing with the standard, as you all know, this is my deck. This is my baby that I've been brewing, working on. Have a pretty good win-loss record with it, um, if I do say so myself. But I don't know why. I stay out of ranked. I guess if I'm gonna play with the big boys and I need to prove myself, I should just go into ranked play. But um, that's something I guess I'll just have to start doing on the channel here. But I feel like you get a lot more variety in the unranked matches. You play against brewers and people who in general, want to have fun and test their jank and yeah, I think I prefer that right now, but we'll see. And again with the brews, I wanted to do a silly rogue deck since obviously our big card for Flash was Thieves Guild Enforcer, but there is another card that I didn't plan on running, but I'll post a video later where, I'm testing different versions of this deck. This is the version that runs Drown in the Lock. Figured it'd be nice to have another payoff for running the Thieves Guild Enforcer. But just like last standard, I'm getting into situations where I want flash spells. I want to be able to play a flash spell, ping my opponent, and put the game away. And you'll see or you've probably seen an example of that already, where I have the Slitherwisp out. I was in line to win the game, and I draw land after land after land, and then a huge Lochmere Serpent that is a great game ender sometimes. But man, in this scenario, I would have loved to have drawn, a Threnody Singer, Spectral Sailor, Thieves Guild Enforcer, almost literally anything else except for that and Drown in the Lock. But now opponents at a higher life total, they seem to have turned things around. All we can do is try to stay alive for another turn and get the Lochmere Serpent down and try to put the game away that way. So anyway, back to standard. I was looking at, we did get another common flash card, and again, looking at every tool that we have, I was looking at the masked guard, and I'm just so disappointed in that card. If it would have been, if you don't know, it's a black flash creature, it's a human. I think its base stats are 1/1 or something disappointing for 2 mana. Yeah, you can flash it in and you can pay 3 to pump it 1/1 for a turn until the end of the turn. So 3 mana to pump it +1/+1. And you have creatures, non-flash creatures obviously, but creatures nonetheless, that for the same cost you can pump +3/+3 and give them Death Touch. And then if they deal more damage, of course I'm talking about the Knight of the Ebon Legion, and if they deal more than 4 damage, they get a permanent counter and you can pump them again. And I would have liked to have seen maybe 3 mana for a +2/+1, or even a +2/+0 or something. Something where you could flash it out and burn some mana and get your opponent to trade. I would have accepted that, but for what it is, I don't like it. So real quick, getting towards the end of the game here, the life totals are low. Brings back the Gigan Cyberclaw. And this is a interesting play by the opponent. I thought the Lochmere would die, and that would be game, but he goes after the Slitherwisp, and I'm not sure why, because I haven't been playing out. I mean, maybe in his mind it was the smart move. I was seeing maybe he had a creature with reach, because I couldn't believe that he would let me fly over and make my Lochmere unblockable and kill him, but that's what he did. So maybe he's not familiar with Lochmere. I feel like this is a game that I kind of stole due to my opponent's ignorance in some sense. But if he didn't kill the Lochmere, we would have got 2 Lochmeres down, and Not Lockmere, Slitherwisp. I apologize. Either way, hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Silverback out.